This is the Night Owls Disc Golf Podcast. I'm Shane.
And I'm JP.
And we're recording ourselves.
Yeah, this is a little awkward.
It is, because we're sitting right next to each other.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
It is.
Just don't touch my leg.
I won't.
All right.
Maybe.
Yeah, easy. All right. So, remember, social medias are out there. So, door_disc_golf. We have night_owl_pod. And doordisc.com. And YouTube, where this is going to go. And it's Door Disc Golf. So, with all that being said, let's get into the episode. So, night golf and glow rounds.
Yes.
How do you feel about them?
I've never played a glow round.
Ever?
No, I don't think I have. I think I've been out. I've gone out and thrown my glow discs at night, but I've never actually played a glow round.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I guess I've never ran one up here, and I don't think anyone else has, right?
No, absolutely not. Like,
Okay.
we don't have any. Well, I mean, we have lights in the store.
Yeah.
You know, to put on
Yeah, we
discs
do.
and stuff.
We do.
And on baskets. But yeah, I don't think we've ever ran one. And right now, it's really cold.
Yes.
So probably not the best time to run it. But
No. Especially with some of the old Innova plastic
yeah.
that loves to shatter.
Yes. All my stuff's fairly new, so I don't really worry about that.
No,
but
I've only ever broken one disc, ever.
yeah.
So, and I'm playing a long time, throwing a lot of plastic. I've only ever broken one, but a lot of my old stuff just sits on a shelf. So,
Yeah. Well, and even like we don't have to get out late at night. We can do it at dusk and then work going to the night. But
yeah. Well, like we could have ran league and then just put all the lights out and just finished in the dark,
yeah.
which we do anyways, just with no lights. So,
Yeah.
So the reason why I ask about that is because we're coming into the season,
Yes.
and I've only played ever twice. And one was down in Biloxi, Mississippi,
Okay.
and we were down on this course. It was like right on the water, just beautiful place, but it was a night round. I had no clue where I was going, playing with a bunch of random dudes. There's
Yeah.
water everywhere. Like, and I had no glow discs. I brought like 5 or 6 discs. And there was this local pawn shop that had some discs. And I went in and just grabbed like a T-Bird and I don't even remember what else I grabbed, but I ended up leaving them there. I just
Okay.
like handed them out after the round. And it was awesome. Like I loved it because it was like that. You throw it and you're like, I think that was really good.
Right.
But you don't know until you get to the basket, like, or search for your disc. Like it came out this direction. Normally it does this, but I didn't have any of my discs that I know exactly what they do. You know, so it was kind of a guess for me.
Okay.
But I think I went and bought like I said, a T-Bird and a Destroyer, I think are the 2 things that I ended up having. So, but yeah, so I enjoy it. I would like to try to do some up here, but we'll see. I don't know. We don't have that large of a crowd that likes to play in the cold.
Yeah. And that's part of it. And I don't know if a lot of people just come up here just for a glow round, but there's the novelty of that as well, of like playing the first glow round.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I don't know.
Maybe even doing like a glow tournament unsanctioned or something.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
That'd be fun. It'd be fun in Bailey's at night,
Oh,
but to lose discs out there would suck.
Yeah. It'd be better in the morning to go and find them all.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but some of those discs, I mean, like Lone Star and Casaplast,
MVP.
and even the Halloween buzzes from Discraft, they're fantastic. I mean, they glow great.
Yeah.
Like out of any of their glow, that is probably the best, I think, when
Okay.
they come out with the buzzes every year.
Okay, because I have a couple glow Z discs from Discraft, and they don't glow so great.
No, they don't, and it's real not very long.
No, not at all.
But the Halloween buzzes, for some reason, are like on another level.
I saw someone say that perhaps these glow buzzes are a different blend,
Oh, are they? Okay,
so maybe that's why they glow better.
that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. All right,
I don't know.
I'm hoping so.
Yeah.
So, with all that said, thrower hanger flipper, what'd you buy?
I bought an MVP Glitch,
Okay.
the new hybrid catch, like putt approach disc. And it's kind of cool, really lightweight, 151, which I think it was the max.
Oh, wow.
Otherwise, they go down to like the mid 140s.
Wow.
Yeah, super lightweight.
And big blunt nose, kind of like a lid, or
Yes. So that's what it's, yeah, you have the standard, ring around the disc. There's a little bit of a bead on the bottom, but I think that's just you know, it going through, but it's 1700.
7.
7.
It lives up to the 7?
It's glidey for sure.
Okay.
But super touchy. I didn't expect it to be as understable as it was, because I was thinking like the gyro technology would maybe help it stay still kind of stable.
Yeah.
And I I threw it, I power gripped it right away, and I was like, it just turned over immediately. It's like, okay, I'm just gonna have to put some touch on this thing.
Yeah.
And I just did, like a wrist snap putt motion, and it held it super straight. And it says it's a 0 fade. I mean, there was a little, not
There's
like
always a
0.5.
little finish, yeah.
So, but super, it's an interesting disc. And I had recently gotten one of the Halo Sonics, which is, a totally different feel. But that, I feel like the Sonic's more understable than the glitches.
Really?
Yeah.
More understable.
More understable.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I've been able to throw those pretty hard. And,
The Sonics?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can get them to stand up and just go straight. The Halo ones, I can get them to stand up and go straight. But they're fastbacks. They're not a traditional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I suffer, like, I can't throw a lid very well. Like, it's just one of those things, like, I don't know if I just don't have the wrist snap to just keep it, or if all of a sudden I just get a little off axis torque, and it starts
Yeah.
wobbling and dumps right away.
Right.
And yeah, so this disc will probably help me get a little bit more touch.
Yeah.
And I can see it also being a really good disc for circle 2 putts.
Yeah, I can see that. Especially if it's easy to just flick your wrist. You don't have to put a lot of body movement
No,
in it.
especially-
It takes air out of it.
Yeah, especially at 150 grams.
Yeah.
It's like just,
Yeah.
you let go and it just goes. Like, it's crazy.
Just hopefully it has enough weight to push those chains out of the way.
Yeah,
to actually
right.
drop in. But
Right.
so I bought something and then immediately so we had the Athena's drop.
Yeah.
And I had this beautiful orange, like it was like a halo, almost like an eye, like an iris or something.
Like one of those Saki, like
Very
Raptors.
similar.
Yeah.
Very similar.
Okay.
But it was orange. It was beautiful. And unfortunately, something happened with a link between PayPal and then paying directly on the site, but 2 discs went out at the same time, same disc. So unfortunately, there was only 1 disc left to supply that because they went just like that. And it was mine. And it was
Yeah.
already sitting in my car. I went and took it and put it in the car so I wouldn't forget it. And I was like, yeah, it's going to go right up next to the rest of the prototype Macbeth stuff. And nope.
Oh.
But it was better though. It was unfortunate. It was a mistake that was either my fault or our equipment's fault. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I didn't get it. So I did buy it, and it's not going to be a thrower hanger or a flipper for me because it's already in someone else's.
But if you bought it, wasn't it already, wouldn't it have already been out of
It was
stock?
already out of inventory. No, what it
Out
was
of
is that
inventory?
someone bought 2 pink ones.
Yeah.
And the same pink one
Oh.
came up. So one was from pay. So it was just a little bit of lag.
Okay.
So I ended up selling both 2 pink ones were exactly the same, or 2 teal ones, I think is what it was, but they were the exact same product.
Got it.
There was only one of them. So I was like, well, all I have is this orange one. And I was like, is he going to take it? No, don't take it. And then he took it, and I was like, well, but I don't feel too bad about
Yeah,
it.
too bad it wasn't somebody that really loved pink discs. They're like, no, I can do without this orange one.
Exactly. I was like, yes. But no, it didn't happen that way. So Safeway, it's gone.
Okay.
It left.
But you were really busy making reels today. And
Wasn't I? I posted a lot today.
Yeah. And there's one where it said that you were thinking of, or maybe you did get a full foil Halloween buzz.
Yeah, no, that was
No.
just for effect. Yeah.
Lies.
Yeah, it was lies. It was lies. So anything you see on our Instagram, you can't believe. But
Well, you don't want to say that.
yeah, exactly. Well, you could. All right, I'll just take it back.
Yeah.
We could just cut this out, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Should be able to.
Yeah, it happened, right? So, yeah, but that was it. I didn't really do anything else. I mean, I've been imagining and dreaming about all kinds of other things, but I just haven't pulled the trigger on anything yet.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah. I thought about a Mindbender, but I have an original MD
Yeah.
at home that I like in my Anubises. And
Not the same though, from what I understand.
No, not that I've heard.
Yeah. From what I remember, because I have an MD down in my room, and it's beaded. The new MD ones are not beaded.
Right.
So they're a different mold. I mean, completely.
Yeah, they are. The older ones are 4500. These are 5600, I think. And then I don't really remember what an MD2 is, but I have one at home, and they're close.
Okay. So it's
I
kind
think-
of right between those two, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it was Simon's creation. Like this is what he wanted. He liked the mystery box ones, but he
Yeah.
wanted them flatter, and so I'm good with it. I think it's a great. I think it's a great disc. I think it's a great. It's like in my wheelhouse of discs. I
Sure.
love that straight flyer, less stable than a Buzz, more stable than like a Comet or something like that. So I mean, I think it's going to fit in a lot of people's bags really easily.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. So, all right. So here's a preview. We're going to go over MVP recap. We're going to go spectators on the green, Paige's thoughts, and USDGC picks. We're also going to do listener bag analysis. It says none on our sheet, but that is not true because
We have a
Ian,
couple.
we are getting to yours. And you're the first one on camera, too. So
Wait, who?
Why not? Ian? Isn't it Ian?
Cam.
Cam. Ian's the young man that sent us our-
Elliot.
Elliot.
Oh my God. Anyway,
Please tell me there was an Ian somewhere.
there might have been
I'm just making this up.
dreams.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Dreams.
So we'll go over Cam's listener bag analysis. And then we'll have our random question. And this is where we're going to pull our Clash discs. So for those of you that did not listen to the Bobby Cool Daddy Slick Breeze and Clash episode, he gave us 3 discs that we're going to give away. And we have 3 winners right here. So you have to listen till the end, and we will give you those winners. Yeah, we're going to be those guys. And then we'll go over the shop updates. And we have some cool stuff coming into the shops and some cool stuff that has gone from the shop already. So here we go. We'll get into it. MVP recap. So let's see if I have the picks from what we did. It was a good tournament. I loved it.
Apart from the weather, it was a
Well,
good tournament.
Yes, exactly. Well, even the weather, once again, that doesn't bother me because I wasn't playing in it.
Right, right.
And it made for some disparity. I mean, it made for some things that probably would not have happened,
That's true.
which is nice. Practice rounds were fun to watch because you couldn't watch them, which was cool. Even people just standing up on the tee pad and they're like, hey, teeing off
Yeah.
on hole 1, throw it. Well, that disc is gone. They couldn't see. I mean, it was like super thick
Yeah.
fog.
I mean, I watched the Jomez with Calvin and Yuli and Germ. But then, yeah, like I think we mentioned before, people were there Monday and it was just fog, dense fog.
Yep.
And so that's kind of how the weather was all weekend, just rainy, overcast. And then they had lightning delays day 1. So the MPO was actually canceled and they started the FPO. I think some people had gotten off gotten out on the round. And then they didn't go back out until about 1:30 our time. So like 2:30 there, and they just couldn't fit everybody in. So yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah. And that you don't see that very often. I mean, thunderstorm, stuff like that, but for fog, that's kind of odd. So let's go over our picks. So we had MPO, you had Heimberg, Hammis, and Dickerson, and I had Heimberg, Macbeth, and Matty O. So Macbeth came in 3rd. Heimberg, I know he was up there. I don't know what he finished at. Was he in
I don't remember what.
like 5th or 6th?
place.
No, he wasn't up there.
No, he wasn't.
And then Matty O, I don't think was really in the equation as either.
No, not that I remember.
And then, so same thing, Heimberg, Hammis, and Dickerson. I don't think either of them were actually anywhere close to it either.
How sad.
Yeah, but congratulations, Simon Lizotte.
Yeah.
Fantastic, another win.
Off the chase card.
Yes, off the
So
chase
that
card.
he started the tournament shooting +2 first round, and he's back pretty far.
Yeah.
And then came back, shot a course record. I think it was 8 down.
Yep.
8 down. And then final day, waiting in the clubhouse
Yep.
to see what happens. And
Yep.
then kind of drama filled there.
Yeah, a little
on
bit.
18,
Yep.
waiting for that to happen. So unfortunately, Corey Ellis comes up just short.
Yeah, he just got the yips, really, is
Yeah.
what it was. I mean, because it seemed like his drive was good enough.
Yes, he had a great drive.
Was Carlson who was?
It was him, Linus Carlson. Who else? Thomas Gilbert.
Yeah,
but
okay.
he didn't have a great round the final round.
No. But yeah, Linus Carlson, the last hole, I mean, just basically first available hits.
Yeah.
So takes him out, and he was in the lead at that point. Tied for the
Yep,
tied for the lead at that point.
He knows.
And then Isaac Robinson, decent shot, upshot, and then just flubbed the putt, right?
Yeah.
So-
Or Corey Ellis
Sorry, not.
threw out of bounds.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's unfortunate. I'm sorry. So Kristen Tatar, who was our second place runner up after, so Natalie Ryan took it down, but it was kind of the same thing. So in the playoff, they went straight to 18, and Tatar threw kind of low and short, kind of left herself with some work to do.
She did the same thing, because they went back to 18 for the playoff. She did the same thing off the tee of 18 during regulation.
Oh, she did. Okay.
She kind of flubbed some drives. Like it was, I don't want to say it was like a worm burner, but it didn't go far. It just went into the grass.
That hole is uphill. And
slightly.
She threw it flat like she normally does, and it just straight into the ground, and that grass caught it. And then she hit a branch coming on the way in, and ended up probably 30 feet
Circle's
out,
edge,
somewhere around, right, circle's edge, and just caged it.
Yeah.
And Natalie Ryan was parked.
Yeah.
Because she threw probably, I don't know, maybe 60, 70 feet further than.
She had a really great drive.
Like a great drive.
Yeah.
And then she had a little touchy up shot, put it off the rock wall, put it 5 or 6 feet away.
Yeah, it did bounce off the rock wall. That's right. Yeah, and just kind of curled in.
And that was the end.
Yeah.
So, and then all the controversy of Natalie Ryan. My perspective still is PDGA needs to step up and make a decision. Until then, Natalie Ryan's doing everything she is able to do. I mean, there's nothing wrong with what she's doing. She's playing within the rules.
Yeah.
So it is what it is at this point.
It's the same. It's on repeat.
Right. Exactly.
Like this is just going to come up every time, and it's going to be the same story. I mean, if people are really upset about it, write to the PDGA.
Right.
That's make your voice heard. Pros, I think that's a good way to do it if you're upset, so you're not getting any backlash or
right.
There needs to be some kind of vote, and I think you just voice your opinion.
Yeah, I think
or vote in new PDGA board members.
Right.
I don't know.
I think the governing body just needs to step up one way or the other. Say yes or say no. Say we're going to accept it or we're not. Basically, they're taking the stance of the Olympic Committee, which the Olympic Committee says the sport needs to decide.
Yeah.
So they're not. That's all. They're not doing that. So once again, they just need to step up. And as far as the pros and things, I had come across a post where I saw a couple female pro. I saw one female pro had liked the post, and the post was basically saying, I'm not for it. From an FPO player. Never heard of this FPO player before.
I don't know if
she was an FPO.
Was she?
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
Because she said she was not playing PDGA sanctioned events.
She's not playing as many because
as many. Yes.
Yeah. And I noticed that a female pro, a very recognizable female pro, liked it. And then you dug a little deeper and noticed that there were two others.
Two other female pros and a disc golf company.
Yeah. That were liking the post. So
yes.
It's this behind the scenes. They feel like they can't speak up about something like this if they feel like they're
going to get canceled.
They're going to get canceled. Yeah. And I think that's a very real concern. Even for us, I hesitate saying stuff just simply because it's such a sensitive subject.
It is.
But I don't think my stance is all too I don't care. Just follow the rules. You know, I think it truly lies on the PDGA.
Yeah, it does.
So, I'll go back over that again and again and again until the PDGA actually makes a decision instead of riding the coattails of somebody that says that they should make that the sport themselves, aka the PDGA, should make that decision.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, we'll move on because I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Sounds like a good idea.
So, all right. So FPO, I picked Tatar, Own, and Gannon. So not too bad. Own didn't do too bad.
No.
Gannon, I'm not sure where she finished up. I wasn't.
I think I was looking at overall the tour rankings before, but she finished. Where's Missy? Oh, she finished 15th.
Okay.
Owen finished 6th.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then Tatar second. We'll type first, but second.
Yeah.
And then you had Qatar.
Qatar.
Qatar?
Qatar.
Qatar.
You know, the country
Yeah,
that's
the country.
hosting the World Cup this year. Qatar.
Yeah, exactly. Qatar. So she got Tatar. And then Gannon and then Owen.
Okay.
So we both didn't do that great.
No.
We both had Tatar up there, though.
Yes, we did.
So that.
Well, speaking of Tatar, did you see the guys that had the tater tot t-shirts?
No, but that's fantastic.
Yes. It
Yeah.
was they're like 3 or 4 guys and they had shirts that said taters tots or something.
Tater tots.
Yeah.
That's even better.
Yeah.
So let's talk about MVP. So flagmen on the green, and I don't think they were officially supposed to be there. I think they were spectators that had flags.
Okay.
So running across the green, and they were doing their whole like introduction, every card that would
Right.
come up. You know, there was a lot of that stuff going on, which was, I thought, you know, Nate Sexton. I think it was Nate that brought it up that, you know, players should not be waiting 8 holes into a round and waiting for fans to clear
Right.
a green.
Well, you shouldn't even be, unless you're crossing over to like another hole or anything, you have no business being on. I mean, you pay money to be there, but you're there to spectate.
Right.
Like, I guess here at MVP, it's becoming a bigger spectacle. You know, it's becoming accepted that the 8 holes kind of get away with what they get away with.
Right.
On the whole, I heard too that they were going to have like a bunch of those vuvuzela, you know, like the horns, the big horns.
Oh,
that, like,
yeah.
And they were kind of like, you know, someone had kind of put the kibosh on it.
Okay.
And then, so I think there was a regular PDJ, not official, but, you know, like one of the guys that holds like the red or the green.
actual flaggers,
the
yeah.
actual flaggers, right.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, it must be these 8-hole guys that are just, you know, have the green flags and they're doing the big, I don't know, choreographed
Yeah.
flag
Yeah.
routine after someone lands and all that.
Honestly, I love it.
It's cool. Like, I like it.
Because there's no other hole in disc golf.
No, and I think they said it kind of carried over to hole 14 as
Yeah.
well.
Well, they're kind of.
They're back. Yeah. But it's exciting. Like, rarely ever do you see that much excitement about somebody landing an island hole.
Right, exactly.
Or what's awesome too is they have the drop zone
Yes.
behind the boards, and I think it was at least 3 or 4 pros that ended up dropping that 60-foot putt.
Yes.
And then they're like, sign the board.
Holland Hanley.
Yeah, Holland Hanley was on Chandler Fry, I think. Ben Calloway,
Yeah.
and I think there was one other person, but they had the Hall of Fame board that they could go
Yes.
and sign, and so that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And then I heard Emerson Keith. Yeah, they had a birdie, like the board game, the box. There's a big box sitting in the lake or the pond, and he actually dunked his disc into that.
Oh, neat.
And so they collected money and gave it to him once he got to the hole. They gave him about $100.
That's
what I
awesome.
heard. Yeah. And Emerson's like, I've never gotten money on a round for
Yeah.
you know, or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like, that's just unique.
Well, exactly. And there are pros that complained about it, but yeah, I guess it all depends on how your game's going, you know?
Yeah.
But in my opinion, that's what we need more of. I mean, so PGA has a hole called the loudest hole on the earth or something like that.
Okay.
Loudest hole on tour or something like that.
Oh, yeah, at the Waste Management.
Is that, the Waste Management Open. Yeah.
Yeah. Hole 16, I think, out there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that is amazing. Now, the difference is that they don't have spectators running across the greens.
No, they're all up in stands.
Yeah. So I think there's that line that we have to teeter, you know, and obviously we got to step over it every once in a while to test the boundaries, see what's appropriate, what's not. But I think with the eight holes,
Yeah.
I think there were people that were being a-holes, and I think there were 8 holes. And I liked the 8 holes. The a-holes I did not like. The people that were just overstepping the bounds and kind of taking liberties with the lack of direction in that area. You know, I mean, there's definitely direction there. There's a leader of the 8 holes.
Right, there is.
There's things like that.
Yeah.
But kind of stepping over those bounds a little bit, I think that stuff needs to be controlled.
Yeah.
We should not be on the playing surface. at all.
No.
Spectators should not be on the playing surface.
And I think so. When lead card got there, it was pouring down rain at the time, and Corey Ellis wanted to get up and be able to throw.
Yeah.
And they were, on the green clapping or getting everybody hyped up.
Well, they were doing their introductions.
Yeah. And so he's like, I need to get,
Yeah.
And that just held everything up.
It is, yeah, and he wasn't having a great round. There's certain things that played into it, and the weather played into it.
And he did turn it around on the back nine.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. But yeah, I mean, it's expected. It's par for the course on that one. I don't think anything has changed over how many years now. It's only gotten better and better and better. You know. But I do think there has to be that limit. There has to be that line that shouldn't be crossed. And once again, I think you can toe that line. I think you can be right on top of it because I think that's what we need in disc golf. But there is this arena that needs to stay clear. And that arena was violated many, many, many times by the 8 holes. So I think we just need to keep that in mind. Go for it. Like, I love that enthusiasm. I love that in the sport. But, man, keep that arena sacred.
Yeah. And what's weird, too, because, usually Jeff Spring will be following around like the final card or something. Or I don't even know if this is like a Steve Dodge situation where Steve needs to get involved with that. Just be like, we're playing a tournament here.
Well, he's the TD, and I think he's the one taking the money for the 8 holes. So
yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, that could be.
And people respect Steve. I mean, plain and simple. He's an icon in the sport. He's done a lot for the sport. I mean, he's the creator of the Pro Tour,
right.
And yes, he has since relinquished control of it and sold it, but he has some power, and I think if he walks up there and says, guys, you need to keep this arena clear.
Yeah.
I think they'll be fine.
I think so.
Yeah.
He's earlier, we had an episode real early where we were talking about, obviously the $1 million, we were talking about when he came on or when he made the announcement of the $1 million and then all the, developments that he wanted to
the additional stands which are out there
so it's cool.
I think he's a trend center, and I think he's always ahead of the times, and I think we can look at MVP and say that's probably about what we're going to see on the PDGA Tour or the Pro Tour, whatever entity takes that. I think that's probably what we're going to be seeing. So and if there's some crazy rich Middle Eastern or European or
all of a sudden they have a live tour going on.
Exactly.
Come over here.
Exactly. So, but I think that's probably what we're going to be seeing. I mean, because like I said, he is the trendsetter. He's the one that creates controversy, and then all of a sudden it's mainstream.
Yeah.
And he's done that forever. Like the fact that the Disc Golf Network was Steve Dodge, and people freaked out about the Disc Golf Network.
Right.
I mean, you remember how this is ridiculous. Disc golf behind a paywall. It's horrible for the sport. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Guess what?
It's working.
It's nobody questions it.
No.
Not at all.
No.
Not one bit. So I think it's a good thing.
It's making pretty good money.
Yeah, it is. It is. So, well, there you go. So should we get to Paige's thoughts? Are you aware of where I'm going with this?
A little bit.
Okay.
It has to do with her interview, her.
2 of them.
Oh, 2 of them. Okay.
Yeah. So the first one is the conversation with Paige about saying that she's okay with not having a killer instinct. So she doesn't have her killer instinct back, and I'm going to try to get it as clear as I can, so I'm not misspeaking or misportraying what her thoughts are. But she stated that she doesn't have the killer instinct, and she's not disappointed if she doesn't get it back, or she's not looking forward to getting it back, or she doesn't care if she gets it back. Something in that realm.
Yeah.
So basically saying that I don't have it and I don't want it.
Okay.
What does that say to you?
Kind of makes me. It sounds like she's moving on to the next chapter of her life a bit. Where she kind of said it when I think it was at Masters Cup. Talking about with her dad, but you see on social media her and Alyssa Van Lannen buying a house, settling down, getting multiple dogs, and Alyssa's not out on tour with her as much as she used to be because she's at home
taking care of all
the stuff they got. Right.
Yep.
And maybe Paige misses that time of doing this stuff, feeling like this is something different that's offered, like a more grounded. Not that disc golf isn't grounding, because I think that's not her identity totally, but what people identify her as the
Right.
athlete.
But how can you say she's not? She just spent how much money putting out a documentary about her being the sport of disc golf?
Right.
Essentially.
Yeah.
Like,
But that's so crazy because that dropped right before Ledgestone.
mm-hmm.
And then she just doesn't have, I mean, she won European Open, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, and she's still up there in terms of tour points.
Right.
Just like Paul.
Well, I mean,
you would
she's
say-
still doing good.
Yeah, right.
Definitely not a page year, and there are
No.
other players that are playing better than her. But
Yeah, competition is just kind of catching up to
yeah,
everybody, or some of people are surpassing her.
right, exactly.
So-
and with Paige, it is difficult in my eyes to see if you put yourself as a pinnacle athlete in a sport and you define yourself as that or wanting to become that, like you are one of the three. I mean, this is what she did. And you are one of the, if not the highest paid female in disc golf, you are for sure the highest paid female on Discraft,
Oh, yeah.
and probably the second highest paid player on Discraft, right?
I would think so.
I would assume maybe third.
I
Maybe,
don't-
like Chris might
Yeah,
sneak
that's what I
in
was thinking.
there,
Chris Dickerson, maybe,
but I would assume that she's probably the second highest paid. And the amount of attention that she garners and she wants to garner, step back, put yourself in the shoes of the manufacturer that is paying her loads of money to throw plastic and win tournaments. And she says that? Where are you going with that?
yeah, you're like, kind of question. You're like, well, I mean, your name's still out there. You're still a big deal, but how are you helping us anymore?
Right,
Like,
exactly.
That's kind of a crazy thing to think about. But is it one of those things where she sees where Kristen is, and she's just kind of like tempering her expectations of what she wants to do or what she feels like she can do anymore? Not like she doesn't have the physical ability. We've seen that she wants to take time off and enjoy life, and like that kind of helps her reset going into these tournaments, because we've seen her take time off and come into
Over many
tournaments.
years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then just kind of come back and like do her thing. But I don't know. I mean, she did show up this weekend. She got third,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
then I don't know. That's just kind of a weird way to like go into it, and then who knows once Throw Pink comes around and Tour Championship, how that mindset's gonna go. Is it?
Yeah, and who does know? And so she doubles down. I'm glad you brought up the Tatar thing. She doubles down because then she follows up and says she criticizes the tour for putting Pittsburgh on the schedule. So
Oh, the Butler County.
yeah, Butler County.
Okay.
So she doubles down and says, Kristen just won Worlds. Who wants to go to this no-name place? Or who wants to watch her play this no-name place in Pittsburgh? Or something like that. But it was very...
Okay.
I would pull up the
exact
soundbite of it. But basically she's saying Pittsburgh disc golf course doesn't matter. And she's pointing out the disc golf course itself. So not only is she kind of alienated a whole population of disc golfers by the region and probably they're stoked that they're holding a Silver Series.
Right. That's
in
like us holding a
Pittsburgh.
similar series here with a couple of years ago.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, with it being in Manitowoc, like we were like, this is great. Like you went down there.
Yeah,
and
get to see all the top pros were playing too, because it was like, okay, COVID's happening, things are just kind of ramping back up, and everybody's coming here except for Paul.
Yep.
And like Paige was there, like
Yep.
a lot of top players were there.
Yeah,
And it was like
exactly.
super exciting for that community. To have it.
and the community of Wisconsin disc golf too.
Yeah.
I mean,
And same thing having USWDGC this year. Like that's a huge deal for Madison area.
exactly.
Yeah.
And and to call out a region just because you feel that it's not appropriate or that you feel it's not good enough, like, who is she to determine that?
Right.
And who is she to determine whether someone wants to watch Kristen Tatar on a specific course? They're not there to watch the course. They're there to watch Kristen Tatar.
She could have been there if she wanted to.
Well, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So I just, I have a really hard time that this icon, and I'm going to throw up the quotes, and I'm on camera.
Yeah.
Like, this icon of the sport is creating drama where there doesn't need to be drama.
True.
And it just doesn't make sense to me. It seems like she's comfortable in a place of chaos, and it's not necessary,
Yeah.
and it's not good for the sport.
Well, she's even said that she has no interest in playing Silver Series.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
You can't get mad at other people for wanting to play or win points or whatever reason they want to do whatever they're doing.
Yeah, and I don't think she was mad, but nevertheless, or she was mad at Kristen, but she was definitely down on the fact that they were being played. Like, it's ridiculous.
That is ridiculous.
And I think it might be maybe a tour points thing, maybe something like that is
Maybe.
what I'm assuming.
Okay.
But if she doesn't have a passion to win anymore and doesn't have that killer instinct anymore, why should it matter to her? So I think there's just a lot of confusion going on in her mind of who she wants to be and where she should be at right now.
Yeah.
And honestly, I wish her the best of luck. I hope she figures it out, because disc golf with Paige in it is definitely better than without. But disc golf with this destructive Paige
Oh, yeah.
is not good,
No.
in my humble opinion. But it does create drama.
It does.
Creates something to talk about, obviously. So, maybe this is like the FPO Nico. Maybe it's just
Maybe.
giving people something to focus on. So it's unfortunate, because
Well,
she's
it's
such a great player.
It's a
She's
way.
set.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's a way to get her name back in the realm of being important
In relevancy.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about being relevant. It
Yeah.
really is, because Kristen was on four in a row until
Mm-hmm.
now, and then it's like, okay, where's Paige? Don't really know, because she hasn't
Yep,
been,
exactly.
been there. So
Yeah.
to create drama for yourself and feel proud about it, you're like, hey, I'm going to get talked about,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and that's all that matters.
And I don't think it's going to change anytime soon, because if she believes what she said in the documentary, her words is that she's the one that can do it because she has the money.
Maybe she's going to be like the new villain.
Yeah. Hey, I'm good with it. We need them. We need good guys
Yeah,
and bad guys.
exactly.
I've said that ever since. So I'm good with it. But I want more for Paige, because she is that top of the sport. But maybe that's hopeful thinking,
Hope.
and no big deal. It is
Right.
what it is.
Right.
Disappointing me, who cares? Honestly. So, all right, let's get to USDGC picks. So, let's just do winners.
Winners. Okay.
Cause,
I like winners.
all right. So, Ricky ends up taking tour points with his finish.
By less than 5 points.
Just sneaks it out from over Paul.
Yeah.
That, with his win, his recent win, and tour points win, it is putting him right up there with the player of the year. I mean, we had that discussion that it could
we
be either
did.
Paul or, but now, I mean, like everybody's kind of starting to come back together, like
Yeah.
with Lizotte winning, and like, I mean, there's
It is.
quite a few good
It's interesting.
potentials.
I mean, if you're going off the points, I still think Paul is probably ahead. Obviously, Simon's fourth win, I think it bumped him up to sixth in the points standings as far as player of the year. Ricky's still behind Paul, I believe. But
Yeah.
this is Ricky's fourth time winning tour points.
Yeah.
And he said this is a bigger deal than being a world champion.
Yeah. It's easy to say when you didn't win it.
Right. Or maybe there's some monetary issue thing
Yeah.
with him saying that. and-
Maybe. Well, I
know.
think because his standard was a tournament doesn't make a world champion. It doesn't make the best player in the world. It just means it's the best player for that tournament.
Yeah.
He said that.
He
so
said that,
I
yeah.
get why he's reinforcing that thought. But if he was a world champion, he probably wouldn't be saying that.
True.
You know? So for me, I am going to choose. You know what? I feel it. I feel that. I think Paul McBeth is going to take down his. This would be his 4th? No, he's already. So he's going to take another one. How about that one?
That's who I was going to pick as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can both pick him. So throw pink. Who do you think? I don't have a question in my mind who it's going to be, but
Kristen Tatar.
okay. So Macbeth and Tatar is who we're going with.
Yeah, I think that's
All right. Let's go with
the
honorable
safest.
mentions then. Who do we think has a good chance of doing it? Because Sexton always shows up at USDGC.
That's true.
Always.
Yeah.
And then, obviously Lizotte is going to be right there in the realm of things.
Yeah.
And Heimberg will probably always be right there in the realm of things.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to give my honorable mention to Lizotte.
Okay. I'm going to pick Gannon Burr.
Burr. Man, none of us picked Ricky. Not even mentioned Ricky.
I know.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
So Burr and Lizotte. Who is your honorable mention for Throw Pink? So for those of you who don't know, USDGC is a mixed pro open.
Yep.
Females can play in it, but USDGC has, INNOVA has also started the Throw Pink, which is an FPO only.
Not a major. It's only an
not a
A
major,
tier,
just
but you
an A
have to
tier.
qualify for it.
You do. Yep.
It's kind of weird.
For all intents
Intents and purposes.
and purposes, it's a major in my heart.
Yeah, it has the feel of it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I really think so. I mean, it stands parallel to it. Now, USDGC, we have had women compete. Paige has competed in it. Katrina's competed in it. Elaine King has competed in it and actually cashed in it. That was Elaine King, right? Juliana Corver, sorry.
Oh yeah, Julia.
Juliana Corver. So we have had female players compete in the Mixed Pro Open at USDGC and have cashed. So, but they started Throw Pink, and it seems like all FPL players are Throw Pink. So I think that dynasty is going to be over because Tatar qualified, Pierce qualified, and Allen qualified this year, or would have qualified this year.
Okay.
So there you go. Honorable mention for me, I am going to take Valadiaz. I don't know why.
Okay.
I just feel like she's going to be there.
Interesting. I'm going to take Owen.
Oh, that's a good choice because it's a short course that requires accuracy and putting.
Yeah.
I want to take mine back,
And
but I'm not going to.
Honorable mention is kind of one of those weird things because, like, it's just saying that we're like, this is somebody like that
Has a chance.
has a chance, right?
And
So-
if it wouldn't surprise if they won
Yeah, exactly.
in me. So, I mean, it would surprise me if Valadiaz won.
Yeah. Okay.
So if Macy won, I'd
That's
be
like
like,
the dark horse
"What?"
pick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. We are going to get into the random question. So this is the Clash disc winners.
Yes.
So we will get a hold of Bobby Brown. You have to reach out to us and give us your shipping address. It's on you, no longer on us. We're not going to contact you. You have to contact us. So,
Oh boy.
Nate Martin, you have this on your phone.
Yeah. He submitted this through Instagram.
Right. So you are winner number one. Nate Martin. He has a fantastical world question.
Yeah. So
Let's lay it out.
Yep. The question was, hold on, I gotta get on Instagram real quick. It's not real hard because I'm right there.
Millennials.
Millennials. Far from it. Anyway.
Not that far. You're only like 4 years apart, 4 out of it, right? Because I'm like the last year, and then it becomes a millennial.
Really?
Yeah. I'm like, right? Like some people consider me a millennial, some don't. I could care less.
Yeah, I don't know, whatever. Okay. Question is, what region of a fantastical world, like Hogwarts or Middle-earth, Tatooine, that kind of thing, would make for the most interesting / challenging disc golf course experience and why?
All right.
And then he had a follow up is who is your in world doubles partner?
In world, yes. So
I thought he meant like world's double partner, but in world doubles partner, like someone you take with you.
yeah.
Yeah.
So someone like I would grab and say, let's go.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So I'm going to have to go with, dang it, why did I forget it already? Luke Skywalker and Yoda.
Dagobah.
Dagobah. Okay. So it's going to be Dagobah.
Mm-hmm.
And my partner is going to be Windu.
Ooh. Mm-hmm. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. That's a good one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I'm going to say mine would be Mordor. Traveling. I find that would be incredibly hard with the Eye of Sauron kind of
Just
focused
looming.
down on you.
Are you going to be like, are you holding the ring? So are you going to have that type of connection?
Gotta put it in the basket.
Oh, the ring. Okay.
You're throwing it in, like
Right
you're
in the
throwing it
basket.
in, like yeah, throw it
Okay.
in the basket. No, and then I would take Gandalf with me.
Ooh, thou shall not
Gandalf
pass.
the Great.
I could see that. All right. I think those are good ones. So there you go. Nate, you are a winner chicken dinner. Hit us up.
Yep.
You can go right back to JP. It's on you. You have to hit us up, and we will get that disc over to you.
Yep, Night
Actually,
Owls,
Bobby will get that disc over to
Right.
you.
Well, we have to. Yeah, we'll give the. We're the middleman.
Yeah, exactly. We're just the pretty faces. All right. So, number 2 is Philip Wetmore. And it was the smell of a candle, is what I'll address it as. So, if you could encapsulate a situation or activity as a smell to be enjoyed later as a candle scent, what would it be? So he gives examples, might include like hitting inbox to 0, unexpected day off, disc golf ace, etc. So in this scenario, the smell or flavor would allow you to perfectly remember that experience and what it is referencing. I think that's a brilliant thought. Like, I love that idea.
Yeah.
So what would be that scenario for you, and what would be the scent that matches it?
Gasoline smelling candle. No. I don't know why, but when I go pump gas, I like the smell of gasoline.
Okay.
Anyway, man, probably.
That does explain why he's a little slow, by the way. He's always, as he's filling up. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I like disc golf just being out in the woods. So it'd probably be some like woodsy, piney scent. Like that just brings you to like have that feeling of like, yeah, this is what I enjoy, but I enjoy being in the outdoors. Or something, sure they have some kind of like weird, like coastal, like sea breeze kind of scent as well, where, you just takes you to like being on vacation or breeze, something like that. My wife buys all these, they're not essential oils, but they're like plugins, like aroma plugins. She's just like all over the house, bathroom, like kitchen, like everywhere. I'm like, where are we right now? It's like I go in one room and it smells like apple pie. I go in the kitchen and it smells like mint and orange and just all this crazy stuff. And I'm like, our house, love it. Just each room has its own smell, and it kind of drives my senses wild.
I would probably really enjoy that because we don't do any of that stuff in our
Okay.
house. Like Sandy lights candles,
Yeah.
but like I don't know, we have too high a ceilings and it's too big of a house to really make a dent. Like,
Sure.
when you walk by the candle, you can smell it, but outside of that, that's it. Okay, so evergreeny.
Yeah,
because
like
you
piney,
woods.
evergreeny.
So
yeah.
what would be the situation that you wanted to remember?
Oh, yeah. I know. I don't know. Just had, like in Bailey's, I had like kind of a cool ace, one time. So I think that would be the situation. Like Ash and I were out with some random guy that like joined us.
Nice.
And yeah, it's just, I'm probably an ace that like I remember pretty easily. So
Okay.
that would be the situation.
All
And then,
right.
yeah.
So I'm gonna make it disc golf related. There's a lot of things like like the birth of my child, marrying my
Yeah,
wife.
I kind of thought about that stuff.
Those things like boring.
Yeah, not like major life milestones are boring or anything, but
Exactly. I would go with. So I won a tournament in a playoff, a one-hole playoff.
okay.
And it was hole one at Sandy Knoll, and I threw a good drive, like pretty good drive. I threw like I wanted to say it was an FD, as a matter of fact. I threw an FD, and it was like a 380-foot hole, and I ended up with about a 40-foot putt outside circle,
Okay.
death putt, like downhill. And it was just one of those ones, that feeling when I stepped up to it, and I'm like, I'm gonna lay it up, just go to another hole. And as soon as I stepped up to it, I'm like, I got this.
Okay.
Like it was just that feeling. And I got it, by the way. Nailed the putt, and the guy missed his. I was super. Actually, he'd already missed his putt, and I was coming up because he was like 80 feet out. So he kind of threw up to the basket.
Okay.
And then he was only like 3 or 4 feet away. So I was like, yeah, I'm just going to lay up and then go to the next hole. But as soon as I stepped up to that putt, I was like, you know what? I got this. Like I just 100% confidence and clarity. The smell. In the next, by the way, the next tournament, I aced that hole, same hole. I aced that
wow.
hole. It was awesome.
That's cool.
The smell.
Perspiration.
I want. I don't know what the smell like. So have you ever like just picked up a disc and went like smelt the edge of it? Not like.
Burning plastic.
No. Like it's a like a fresh disc. Like walk into a disc golf shop and that's the smell.
Okay.
I would put that in a candle. Like that plastic and cardboard and like funk of men.
Yeah.
And like
musk.
The musk, like that smell. Like, yes, that's the smell.
I really want to smell that candle. Like, I'm really intrigued now with that candle.
Come into the shop tomorrow.
All right.
So there you go.
I'm just going to hold the disc up. I'm like, this is the candle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has to be a soft plastic.
Okay.
Like the ones that have a real good smell, like the Rubber Blend Lunas. Like just, yeah.
Okay.
For those of you who can't see, go on YouTube and you'll be able to see it now. But all right.
Do you have Rubber Blend Lunas in the store?
We just got like 20 of them today.
Oh, okay.
Literally, I think 20
Yeah.
of them. So, all right. CAC backs. So we went over, what was his bag, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we just went over his bag. Good question. It was hard for us because it's a great topic, but I don't know if it was really your question. But you're going to win it anyways. The rest of them, we had a lot of good questions, a lot of honorable mentions, but this is a fantastic topic. So here it is. It is, do you guys think that the future of disc golf should have smaller baskets? Not a crazy topic.
No.
It's been talked about and beat down so much. The insight from Jesse at Trash Panda, he just released, is fantastic. So Trash Panda made a very interesting topic about how baskets were initially made for catch frisbees. So ultimate frisbees, lids, whatever you want to call them. And they were meant to mimic a basketball hoop, which is the size of 2 basketballs.
Yep.
The basket or the tray was meant to hold 2 frisbees and the pole. So with that being said, should the basket or the tray be shrunk? I think that's a brilliant topic to talk about.
Yeah.
I think holds a lot of merit to have that discussion because they always talk about chains, making the basket smaller, things like that. And it's not a considerable amount. It's only about 5 to 6 inches.
That's not too much. No.
Yeah, at most. So it's not a lot, but I think it would make a huge difference. Because
I do
how many
too.
of those putts have you seen where it just barely grabs the edge of the rim or teeters on it or hits the chains, hits the rim, falls in? Those would not happen.
No.
Or the one where it hits the top of the basket, rolls over, and still falls in.
Yes.
That who did that? Was one of the smiliest guys ever. Oh, it was just recently happened.
Did it?
Yes. Anyways, yeah. So there you go.
Yeah, I know. I like having a big target. Like, I know that, just bigger chains, smaller disc means there's more chains to catch the disc.
Yep.
I mean, if, when we have putting league, or we had putting league,
Yeah.
we had the smaller baskets. What are those?
Marksman.
Marksman. And God, a lot of times it'd be like, you hit those chains, and it made a different sound too, because I think they were different chains than the regular baskets. But, you hit those, and it's like, oh God,
Yep.
you either sail it. I mean, granted, like those are way tinier than the 5 or 6 inches that you're talking about.
Right.
But to focus on you're always taught to focus on a link or, something, to focus on something that small, and then the margin of error being so big.
Yeah.
There's a good chance you're going to miss anyway.
Right.
Or even having the basket smaller. I mean, it might bounce out even more than some discs do now, or anything.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see it implemented, and just I think you need to have the reps on the baskets to make sure that they are doing what they're intended to
Right.
do with the discs, the sizes, because obviously, like with the way with the lids, they're all the same size. When you get to putters, when you get to fairways, whatever, obviously throw-ins don't happen that often, but the diameters of the discs being different, they're all going to do something different.
Well, lids are still PDGA. Like,
Yeah.
The Ultrastar is PDGA approved. So you can use an Ultrastar out there if you want to, but they're hard to stick in baskets. Like, you got to put a lot of RPMs on those things to make them stick in chains. So I like the idea of everything shrinking, because it does make it a bit harder. If, like you said, I think they need to have some repetition and time on them to make sure that they catch well. But what it does is, like those marksmans, like, you need to throw them low and you need to throw them at the pole. Like,
Yeah.
So you can only be about 4 or 5 inches above the basket, and it has to hit the pole, or else its likelihood is not sticking. The chains aren't going to grab it and pull it in. It's going to be basically that tray is going to have to catch it. So yeah, I think it would make a great change in disc golf, and I think it would increase the challenge on the putting green, because I think that 30-foot circle would become 20% harder, I bet.
Oh yeah.
Right now inside the circle, it's basically automatic. For most pros, it's
most,
basically
yeah.
automatic. Wind, things like that can disturb it, but for the most part, they're making 9 out of 10. So, so I like it. But Caxbacks, you know where to reach out to us. It's your job, not ours. Remember, all 3 of you guys. So Philip and
Nate
and Jackson, reach out to us, and we will get you a Clash disc. Actually, we'll get Bobby to get you a Clash disc. So let us know. And if you have a preference on what type you want, can't guarantee that that'll happen, send it to us as well. But we need your name and a shipping address, and we'll get over to Bobby.
I was saying, like, I think it was going to be between like a berry mint and a popcorn, maybe. I don't know.
Anyway. I think he was just kind of rifling through what he had.
Okay.
So
Got it.
Yeah, but it'll be something. So give us what you would like. Can't guarantee anything, but for sure it'll be a Clash disc. So thank you very much for sending in. We probably had about another 8 or so questions.
Oh, easily.
So
Yeah.
I think it was great. And for those of you, we got some bag reviews and everything as well. So that's the next thing we're going to do, is because I don't want to forget Cam's
Yeah.
again. So
Again.
you want to pull that up, and
Yep.
then we will finish up by going over our shop updates.
Okay. So Cam Muir, M-U-I-R. Oh crap.
And this is Carolina cheesy.
I will get to it real
Cheesy Carolina.
Okay.
I actually found him, like scrolling through Instagram trying to get ideas, and I found him and I liked him or followed him.
CheesyCarolina.dg is his
There you go.
Instagram handle. Okay.
All right.
So this is his 2022 in the bag. Okay. We're going to start with putters.
Okay.
He's got 2 Gateway Triple S Voodoos for C1.
Okay.
He's got a Dynamic Discs Classic Deputy for C2 putting. He's got a Westside BT Hard, or he's got two Westside BT Hard Maidens.
Okay.
And then he's got a Westside BT Medium Harp. Getting into mid ranges, he's got a Discmania Neo Origin,
Okay.
Dynamic Discs Lucid Verdict, Discmania Neo Mutant, DGA Proline Squall.
Okay.
And then Fairways Discmania Neo Essence, Discmania Meta Essence, and that's the Nate Perkins design. Innova Champion T-Bird,
Okay.
DD Lucid Felon, and then a DD Fusion X Felon.
Okay.
And then distance drivers, Innova Star Mamba, Latitude 64 Opto Sapphire,
Okay.
Discmania Neo Enigma, DD Lucid Raider, Innova Waisaki Star Destroyer, and then he's got a Westside VIP Warhorse.
Oof. Okay.
Yeah, beef.
All right. All right, Cam. Your bag, nothing really stands out to me. Obviously, judges. I mean, why do you not have them? Maidens are close. They're close.
They're shallow, but they're close.
Yeah, they're close. But so you have 5 separate putters in your bag. Does he specifically say why he has maidens in his bag?
I'm assuming I would think they're throwing putters. I don't know, because he kind of has them separated out. He has the two.
It's 2 voodoos.
He's got the 2 voodoos for C1. He's got the Classic Deputy for C2. And then he has a big space, and then the 2 maidens, and then the harp.
Okay. So it's probably
Like-
putters with the voodoo, C2 putters, then the maidens are throwers, and
And then harp is approach. Yeah,
Okay.
I think that kind of makes sense.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't subscribe to the don't throw your putting putters. If you don't like the way voodoos fly, when you put torque on them, then I get it.
Right.
But, I say just get comfortable and confident with your putters all the way around. Like, I just don't subscribe to that model. I never have. You might, right?
What's that?
Throwing putters.
Yeah, I mean, I putt with P2s, and I don't throw they're the new P2s. I was throwing the Sky God for a little while, like the earlier Sky Gods when Innova was still making them, but I switched over to the Envy. Part of it was I just didn't like the way the P2 felt when I was giving it full power. I found it to be more comfortable as a putting putter than a throwing putter. The Envies for me, for whatever reason, just felt better in the hand throwing, and they just seemed a little more. I mean, P2s are stable, but the Envy just like, for whatever reason, I throw with like a little bit of off-axis torque, and the Envies just happen to handle it better because of the gyro technology.
Yeah, they're a little more stable, the bead on them. So
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, like I said, I just don't subscribe to that. I mean, find something that's comfortable, and it's a confusion thing for me. Like, if I want something that's going to be a little more durable, maybe even a little more stable to hold up to high speed torque, then I'll pick a different plastic.
Okay.
You know?
Right. But okay. So I think when Eric McCabe, it's like the person I've heard that talking about this, I just don't think he means throw the exact putter that you're throwing. Because,
Right.
I mean, you're just going to beat it in or whatever. But I mean, keeping the same mold and switching plastic, I have no problems with.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
don't
know.
have any issues with that either.
I mean, you can throw your putting putters if you really want. You're just going to get them really understable, and maybe you're not going to like it for throwing or for putting. Who knows?
Yeah, it could be. That definitely could be. There's so many different avenues around that. The reason why I say these things is because if you lose a disc, what are you going to do? especially putters. I mean, I think putter is where I'm really focused on, because a lot of people have so many different putters and they have these very specific molds that are just for putting or just for throwing.
Right.
And you can become very dependent on those discs. Why put yourself in that situation? Because I don't know how many discs I've thrown in ponds, you know, or even putted into ponds.
Yeah.
Like,
but you always have backups, you know, like that's.
Yeah, sometimes. But, you know, some people have this, like, this is the putter. Like, Jordan has, like, this is my putting putter.
Yeah.
And that's great. That's all fine and dandy. He always layers them. He always has something in backup.
Yeah.
And I'm sure a lot of people do that. But it's the, like, oh, man, it's just that like
the suspect you lost.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it takes me a while. I got to find something else. Exactly. So when you think about stuff like that, like, I just don't put yourself in that situation. That's why I say, you know, Eric McCabe is obviously a world champion, much better player than I ever will be. But I just don't know if I agree with him on it. Like, why put yourself into a situation where you have to buy a new putter, you know, to keep them fresh? Like, he has these weird things with his putters.
Yeah.
But, you know, I guess when you're basically an owner of a company, may as well be, you know, like, I guess you could do those type of things. But, you know, for me, I just don't know if it's necessarily advantageous to rely so heavily on any single disc, because if you lose it, you're screwed.
I guess, yeah. I mean, so, yeah, like with the Envy, I have the Conrad Special Edition. I mean, if I ever lost it, I have another one.
Right.
But I also know that, okay, this is it's just I think it's a Electron Soft is what it is. So I know that I can go get another Electron Soft.
Right.
I know it's not going to be that disc, but I know the feel of it and I know what it's going to do. So, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and I've said it over and over. Whatever makes your heart happy is what you should do.
Yeah.
Like, realistically. But sharing my opinion, you know, just to make those. I don't know if I've ever been on a course and been defeated by myself, like me defeating myself through my mind. I've never been on a course and actually ever had that happen to me by losing a disc or something like that.
Yeah.
Because I don't have any discs that this is the disc that makes my game.
Oh,
you know?
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe I'm just not that good because there's no disc that can make my game. But, you know,
Sure.
So, but anyways, yeah, I just always have to question. But if you like those, man, and they're layered, like you have multiples of them, I don't know if I'm really talking to you, but it's just a topic I wanted to bring up.
Yep.
The harp, love the harps. We used to throw harps. So I don't have any issue with that. And that is that overstable approach that you always want. Origin, Verdict, Mutant, and a Squall. So Squall is straight to understable, correct?
I think so. I haven't thrown it, but
I think it's a
right.
5.4 neg 1,
Okay.
if I remember rightly, 1 or 2. I always get the Squall and the Rift confused, but
Oh, yeah.
I think the Squall is the neg 1.
I thought that, yeah, okay.
So-
I thought the Squall was like one of those weird, like hybrid kind of like 6500 kind of discs or something like that. I don't know.
Well could be, yeah.
But
But I'm pretty sure it's understable. Though.
okay.
The Origin is
Very understable.
very understable.
Yeah.
Verdict is more stable than an EMAC. I would put it on the Buzz OS line.
Yeah,
For
I
those
think
of you
that's-
familiar. And then the Mutant is a Justice.
Close.
Yeah.
It's pretty close.
Pretty darn close. So
Yeah.
super overstable. So I would say you probably depend on your Squall and your Verdict for the most part. And then your Origin is going to be something that is understable, flip lines,
Yeah.
that type of
Turnovers,
stuff. Real
yeah.
easy touch shots. Your Mutant's going to be that kind of skip, get left or get right, depending on forehand, backhand. So I don't have any issues with those. You know, the Squall, if I'm thinking of it right, is very straight, and your Verdict is straight to overstable. So I think you got all your bases covered. I can't pick on this. If you're looking for something that is in that realm, like I said, the Buzz OS for the Verdict, and then probably even the Buzz SS for the Squall. It's probably
Oh, yeah.
similar.
Yeah, I could see that. Or if you want to go Discmania for the Verdict, get like a Method.
Right, yeah,
Yeah.
for the method. Or the Squall would probably be a Mindbender.
Oh, yeah, I
Very
could see
similar
that.
to
Yeah.
the Mindbender, so which is the MD1. All right, so fairways, you had two Essence, so a Zen and then a regular Essence, a T-Bird, a Felon, and a Lucid X Felon. So Lucid X Felons are beefcake,
Yep.
especially the Eric Oakley ones.
Yeah. And that's probably what this is because that's the only Fusion X.
Fusion X, yeah. I think that's the only Fusion
Yeah,
X.
that's the only one I
out.
can think of.
Those ones are beefcake. Felons, they're beefy as well, but you can beat glide into those. I've had a few Felons that are pretty glidey. Actually, I
Yeah.
had to cycle one
Okay.
just recently. My one that has the
Like Felon
that's-
on it?
yeah, the Felon
The yellow
on it.
one?
Yeah. it's kind of beating glide into it. And I was
Yeah.
like, all right. T-Birds, nice and straight. Do have finish. And then the Essence, once again, nice. So Essence and T-Bird. Is there a big difference between those?
Yeah.
Speed-wise?
Essence is just a little faster than the
Yeah.
T-Bird because the T-Bird's what, 7502? Is that right?
I believe so.
Yeah. Essence is like 8.6 minus 2.2.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's just tiny faster and definitely more understable. Yeah.
Yeah. So I like your layer. And the Zen, it does throw a bit more stable
Yeah,
than
it does.
the regular because it's a Neo, the other one.
Neo, and then, yeah.
And then
the Zen is the meadow, like the
Meadow.
shimmer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I like your layering here too. Cam, you're doing a good job in my book. So, all right, you have the Mamba, the Sapphire, the Enigma, Raider, Destroyer, and a Warhorse. I mean, in that order from stability is great. The Sapphire, I don't know if you've ever thrown one of those. They are fun to throw.
Yeah, I know so the Sapphire, when they first came out, they were kind of in that easy to
Easy to throw line,
line, yeah.
Yep.
So it was I think they were produced in really low weights, like 150s.
I think 155 was the highest weight they had.
Okay,
in.
yeah. And then later they came out with the max weight ones. So I'm curious what weight this is, but I would guess
I would assume it's max weight.
yeah, I would think so.
Yeah.
But I haven't thrown one before, so maybe I need to look into that.
Yeah, they glide for days. They have a lot of movement, so they will turn over, and they don't have a hard finish.
Okay.
They're a wide rim, so obviously they have a finish to them, but they're great discs, man. Like you can throw them far. I choose not to throw them simply because I can't trust them.
Yeah.
You know, if I put any wrong angle on them, they're going right backhand. So, Mamba, I'm assuming that's a roller. I mean, that's a neg 4, right?
Yeah, I know Luke throws the heck out of them. He throws the hyzer flips with those. That's his disc.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's extremely understable.
Right. And I know you can find anomalies in Mambas, well, in Innova,
Yeah.
where it might be
Right.
like the most stable thing he's ever thrown, but I'm assuming it's just a Mamba, a normal Mamba, and those things are flippy. So I'm assuming those are big Sky Annies or it's a roller.
Yeah.
So Enigma,
To me, the Enigma and the Destroyer, actually, the Star and the, I should
the
say,
Raider.
huh?
and the Raider.
Yeah, they're all fairly close. The Enigma has more glide than the Raider and the Destroyer, but they all seem really similar and have like pretty similar finish
Yeah.
to me, at least.
Yeah. So
don't know.
I would agree on the
But
Enigma and the Destroyer.
Yeah, like there's different plastics. Even like if you wanted to get like I haven't thrown the Ricky Destroyers at all. I have a Neo Enigma. I have a Vapor, Enigma that it's actually a little more starts out a little more stable than the Neo, but it beats into like a really nice, really glidey disc.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. And like the Raider, I had one of the first runs, and then I had a Biofusion one. And for me, it didn't do anything for me.
Yeah. So I bag one Raider, and the problem I have with Raiders is they're unpredictable. Like I can put a Raider out flat, and it'll turn over, and just keep going. And then I can throw the same line, which I feel is the same line, and it'll finish hard. Like it's just super strange for me. For some reason, there is just some inconsistency in the Raider that I'm having a hard time, and so much so that I'm really just probably going to abandon the Raider pretty soon and go back to an Enforcer or go back to, something like that. I'll probably end up abandoning it. So the Destroyer and the Enigma, like between those 3 discs, my humble opinion, now Destroyers are all over the board. You can get flippy all the way to like some of the most stable discs you ever throw. So I don't know which run but if let's just go off of a textbook Destroyer 12 neg 1 or 12.5 neg 1.
Yeah.
If this is the case, if it's 12.4 or 12.5 neg 1, if it's just that normal true to flight numbers, that in the Enigma and the Raider, I mean, they're like twins.
Yeah.
Maybe different hand feels.
Yeah.
But outside of that, they're basically the same disc.
They're
There's
close
a little speed, little glide difference, but in reality, what does that really matter?
Yeah.
Because that's just a manufacturer slapping a stamp on it. So with those 3, if they fit a different role for you and you like them in there, go for it. But a lot of times this is just going to cause confusion. If they're the same disc with a different name on them, which one should I do? Oh, I should have thrown that one. I've gone over that 100 times. You probably heard it. Warhorse, on a different story, that thing is in a whole different league. So that I don't have much to say about other than, it's probably one of those utility discs that you have there for a very specific reason, super crazy headwinds, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But, I like it. So I think those 2, like we talked about the putters and then that Enigma Raider and Destroyer, like decide which one you like the most and simplify it, because each one of those come in different plastics and will fly differently, and you can get different stability ranges. And in my humble opinion, like the Destroyer is kind of the king of them all.
Yeah.
In that regard. So, but all right, man. Outside of that, I appreciate it, Cam. Thank you very much for your patience, and we apologize we missed it the first 4 times.
I know we kept saying we didn't have one a couple times, and it's like, hey, I sent you my bag a while ago. I was like, oh yeah, I thought we totally did it.
Yeah.
He's like, no.
And we
Sorry,
did go
dude.
over what we did. So we had talked about it after the Holland Hanley thing. We were going to do it Monday for the Monday episode. And then we either didn't do a Monday episode or I don't remember exactly what it was.
We ended up recording, I think, our regular
Episode
instead of the Monday. And we're like, we don't really have anything for Monday after that, where we just got tired of talking. So.
Yeah. So in our mind, we did it already.
Yeah.
So there you go, Cam. And we can find you at
CheesyCarolina.dg
on Instagram. I just followed him. Well, Door Disc Golf just followed him. So there you go. I think he followed us back. Thanks, Cam.
Ooh, getting closer to 1,000.
Exactly. So here we go. Here's the last of it. So we're only an hour and 17 minutes in. So hopefully this translates well to YouTube as well.
I mean, there's much longer programs on YouTube.
Yeah. Smashbox.
Yep.
All right. Discraft Athena. Safeway, it is gone. It has left the building. We had 20 of them, and they, just like that, they were gone. So I wrote it down just because I wanted to brag about it. And then Castblast, Bergs, Glow Stalls, Grim and Grim X will be here Friday, be in the computer there shortly after. We got a huge Discraft restock, so it's Halloween Buzzes, obviously the Athenas. We have Souls, Buzzes, Buzz SSs, Undertakers, Forces, Zeuses. We got them all at 105 discs, I think we got from Discraft. So they are in and up on the site, and if they're not finished by the time you hear this episode, I'll have to yell at Cam. Not Cheesy Disc Golf.
Different
Not
Cam.
Cheesy Caroline, different Cam. I won't yell at him. And then Lone Star, also on Friday, showing up is the Glow Walker and the Zombie Abe. So the Glow Walker is the Game of Thrones White Walker.
Oh, that's cool.
It's awesome.
Ooh.
And then the Abe Penny Putt, it's a Zombie Abe Penny Putt. It's pretty sweet too.
Is it glow?
It is glow.
Oh, that's
Both of them
awesome.
are glow.
Cool.
Yep. And then just keep it up. We're still updating and optimizing the website. And like I said, at one point or another, we're just going to drop the new website, or there's a mouse in my pocket. I will be dropping the website here pretty soon. I've been working on it in the background, and I suck at this stuff. But slowly but surely, it's going on. So I want to give a big thanks to Ben Kurowski. He's going to be editing this video, and hopefully that thing recorded the whole time, because there's no red light on the front, so we don't know if it's still recording or not.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be cool?
That would be cool.
It wouldn't be cool.
It'd be cooler if it had a red light on the front.
It did, yeah. It would be. I know, because like when you're recording your OnlyFans, like, how are you going to know if it's recording or
I
not?
won't use this.
What? What are you going to use?
I've got cameras.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. I make disc golf content with them too.
Also,
Or I
you did
just
say
make,
2. Yeah.
oh boy.
With that, peace. Oh, and keep it subpar.